We have three demands here today. One, for an immediate end to solitary confinement in Illinois and across the country. There's no room for torture here. Two, we're demanding that the Illinois legislature hold a hearing to investigate solitary confinement, or what they call segregation or administrative detention. And thanks to Rep. LaShawn Ford, who's here today, who has said he will work with us to make a hearing happen in Illinois. Very exciting. And after we hear a few speakers here, we'll be marching to Federal Plaza. We'll be demanding that President Obama, who recently, last week, came out saying how torturous solitary confinement is, that we demand that he put action behind his words. He has the power to stop a 1,500 solitary cell prison from opening up in Illinois. We don't need any more solitary cells here in Illinois. So I'm gonna ask if Roosevelt would like to come up. I first met Roosevelt on the campaign to close TAM Supermax prison. He's an activist and wonderful person. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, okay. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to say first that on my way to TAMS, when I was kidnapped, that very first day, they took me to a shower room and had me stripped down in dirty water where I was completely butt naked, and they began to take pictures of me as if I was back in slavery getting ready to be sold at the auction or something. They examined me well. You know, I lifted up my feet, my hand, and even spread my ass cheeks for them. Excuse the French, but they called me up here to speak, so I'm gonna tell it the way that I see it. Now, in TAMS, when I first got to TAMS, I'd never seen anything like it. I've been in every max joint, max penitentiary in Illinois. But when I got to TAMS, it was something eerily different about it. You know, I've never seen a guy in 3 days' time attempt to hang himself. Nowhere. In any other penitentiaries I've been to. I've never seen a guy in 3 days' times began to break up everything in his cell. I've never seen a guy in 3 days' time attempt to hang himself by jumping from the top row down to the bottom. There was so many injustices at TAMS, so many things that was weird at TAMS that I can even name. A lot of people began to start thinking about Abu Ghraib. Well, a lot of the police, a lot of the guards that was in Abu Ghraib came from penitentiaries in the United States. So they honed their skills and took it abroad. You know, this is what's going on in every solitary confinement place, everywhere where there's a guard from the United States, you know. And a lot of the things, a lot of the pain that these guys will experience if they reopen TAMS or reopen any of these other penitentiaries of mass torture, believe me, the outcome is going to be great. It's going to be something that you've never seen before. Because if I could sit back and tell you that numerous psychologists, they said in 2 weeks' time that solitary confinement is meant to break down even the strongest man. Most of us was there for 7.5, I was there for 7.5 years. Some guys were there for 12 or 13 years. So imagine the state of existence they're going to be in when they come back out. You know, a lot of people say, how do you survive TAM Supermax? A lot of us haven't survived.
Hello, I'm the one Roosevelt's talking about. I haven't survived. I see a psychiatrist every week. I've been home for 5 years. Last night I went to the hospital because the nightmares are here. You take us as a child. I did something wrong. I went to prison. And you locked me in a box that's gray. No TV, no telephone. I couldn't touch my mother. Prior to TAMS, I was in a minimum security prison. I went in and out the prison at will. I made the officers' uniforms. And then the next day I look up and I'm in a box with nothing. Nobody could tell me why I was there for 12 years. And then on my release date, they just threw me out to my mother. And I was out maybe 10 minutes before somebody got too close to me and I started really losing it. You know, it was just, you're in my space. And I was so used to this gray box being my home, my space. My first bedroom was a basement. No windows, it was designed like a cell almost. And nobody knew if I was ever gonna come out of it. You know? I never took psychotropic medication before. By the time I left TAMS, I was on 5 different types of psychotropic medication just to make me sleep. Where does it stop? What more do you want out of us? We did something wrong, we pay our debt. When does it end? You know, and like Roosevelt said, we haven't survived. You know, a fly survives on a pile of dung. I walked through life, you know, and I went on a camping trip 2 weeks ago. I was on a mountain, and I knew what it was like to be you. I knew what it was like to be a person, not an animal in a box. I go to the zoo and I cry because animals were not treated like I am. They're in habitat-friendly environments. I'm in a box. My mother suffered from this. My friends suffered from this. And my coworkers suffer from it every day. It has to end. Thank you.